Imagine you are standing on the surface of another planet. The ground beneath your boots is solid rock, glowing faintly orange in the dim light. Above you, thick clouds swirl like a slow-motion ocean turned upside down. For 1 second, it almost feels peaceful. Then your suit's temperature sensor spikes past 800 degrees Fahrenheit, and you realize you are not going to live long enough to be afraid. This is Venus, Earth's so-called twin. And it is, without exaggeration, one of the most hostile places a human body could ever be dropped into. Not Mars, not the vacuum of deep space. Venus, the planet next door. You will not survive 1 minute here. Let's find out exactly why, second by second. From orbit, Venus looks almost gentle. A pale, creamy sphere, wrapped in soft golden clouds, drifting silently through the dark. Ancient astronomers named it after the goddess of love and beauty. It is the brightest object in our night sky after the moon. Poets have written about it. Sailors once used it to navigate. It looks like a place you could visit, but something is wrong. Those beautiful golden clouds are not water vapor. They are not weather in any sense you understand. They are clouds of sulfuric acid, drifting endlessly around a planet where the ground temperature is hot enough to melt lead. The beauty of Venus is a mask, and the moment you get close enough to touch it, the mask comes off. And what's underneath will kill you faster than almost anything else in the solar system. Let's say you somehow make it down through the clouds and land on the surface. The first thing that happens has nothing to do with heat. It's pressure. The atmosphere of Venus presses down with roughly 90 times the pressure you feel on Earth's surface. To put that crushing force into something you can imagine, it is similar to the pressure nearly a kilometer beneath Earth's ocean. Except there is no ocean here, just air. Air so dense that it surrounds your body from every direction, squeezing everything inside you. And this is only the beginning. Submarines are built with reinforced steel hulls to survive that kind of pressure underwater. Your body has skin, bone, and soft tissue. Within moments, your lungs would be forced to collapse. Your eardrums would rupture. Blood vessels near the surface of your skin could burst. But here's the problem. That's only the beginning. While the pressure is crushing you, the temperature is doing something almost worse. Venus sits at an average surface temperature of about 465 degrees Celsius. That's roughly 870 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to melt lead. Hot enough to melt zinc. Hotter, in fact, than the surface of Mercury, a planet that is actually closer to the Sun. Why? Because Venus is trapped in a runaway greenhouse effect. Its thick atmosphere is made almost entirely of carbon dioxide. That atmosphere traps solar heat and prevents it from escaping. Sunlight comes in, and almost none of it gets out. The planet has been slowly cooking itself for hundreds of millions of years. Imagine standing there. The pressure is crushing your body from every direction, while an atmosphere nearly 900 degrees Fahrenheit surrounds you. Without any protection, exposed skin would not simply burn. It would begin to cook within seconds. And the heat isn't acting alone. Pressure and temperature are combining into something far more destructive. Your body is being attacked from every direction at once. The environment is not giving you a single moment to adapt, and there is nowhere to run. No cooler region, no breathable air, no shelter. Only an atmosphere that becomes more hostile with every passing second. But now, imagine something even worse. Your suit begins to fail. The air outside is no longer just hot, it is chemically hostile. Because if your lungs were somehow still intact, the next thing you would have to face is the atmosphere itself. Venus's atmosphere is roughly 96% carbon dioxide. There is essentially no oxygen. Even a single unprotected breath would give your body nothing it needs to survive. Instead, your lungs would be filled with superheated, dense atmosphere. And suspended inside that atmosphere are acidic particles. The same beautiful clouds that looked peaceful from orbit are hiding something far more dangerous: sulfuric acid. The clouds of Venus are not white and harmless. They are chemically aggressive layers of acid drifting through the atmosphere. During descent, droplets could encounter your suit and begin attacking its materials. The beauty you saw from space is disappearing. And now you are beginning to understand why Venus is not simply a hot planet. It is a world where pressure, Heat, chemistry, and atmosphere work together to make survival almost impossible. Higher in the atmosphere, in that beautiful glowing cloud layer you saw from orbit, droplets of concentrated sulfuric acid drift through the air. It is almost like rain, except this rain is acid, and it never needs to reach the ground. As the droplets fall into the hotter layers below, they evaporate before they can survive the journey. But during descent, you would pass directly through them. Acid rain would meet your suit, your equipment, and any exposed material. It would begin corroding what it touches. And this is where Venus stops feeling like a planet and starts feeling like a machine designed to destroy anything that enters it. But Venus has already tested machines far stronger than the human body. The Soviet Union's Venera program sent multiple landers to the surface during the 1970s and 1980s. These spacecraft were extraordinary engineering achievements. They were specifically designed to survive Venus. They carried reinforced structures, specialized electronics, heat protection, and systems built to withstand an environment that should have been impossible for machinery. And even they eventually lost the battle. Venera 13 was one of the most successful. It survived on the surface for just over 2 hours. 2 hours. On Venus, that was considered a triumph. Most of its sister probes lasted only minutes before the heat and pressure destroyed them. Think about that. Our machines were designed specifically for this world. They were built from metal, engineered for extreme conditions, and sent there knowing exactly what they would face. And even they had a countdown. Your body would not have one. It would have moments. And even if you somehow survived the pressure, the heat, and the acid, Venus still has quieter dangers waiting for you. Its rotation is bizarre, almost beyond belief. A single day on Venus, one complete rotation of the planet, takes about 243 Earth days. That is longer than Venus's entire year around the Sun. And Venus spins backward compared with most planets in the solar system. Imagine watching the Sun rise in the wrong direction. Then imagine waiting months for it to cross the sky. Scientists believe this strange rotation may be connected to ancient events in Venus's history, possibly including a catastrophic collision billions of years ago. Whatever happened, the planet never recovered its normal rhythm, and that strange history is written into the world you are standing on. But the rotation is not the only invisible danger. Venus has almost no meaningful global magnetic field. That means it has little natural protection from the solar wind constantly streaming from the sun. Invisible particles and radiation are striking the planet continuously. You cannot see them. You cannot hear them. But they are part of the environment surrounding you. And on Venus, there is no safe direction to turn. The danger is everywhere. Exposure on Venus is not a single danger. It is layered decay happening from multiple directions at the same time. The heat is attacking you. The pressure is crushing you. The atmosphere is suffocating you. And the chemistry is trying to destroy whatever protection you brought with you. But then, Venus becomes even stranger. High above the surface, inside the upper cloud layers, temperatures and pressures can become surprisingly similar to conditions on Earth. And that has led scientists to ask an extraordinary question. Could something live there? Some researchers have debated the controversial possibility of microbial life existing within the acidic clouds of Venus. The idea remains unresolved. There is no confirmed evidence of life, but the possibility alone makes Venus even more mysterious, because somewhere above this furnace, inside those beautiful golden clouds, there may be chemistry we still do not fully understand. And that is perhaps the most unsettling part. We do not completely understand everything happening inside the atmosphere. We only know what our instruments have measured, and almost everything we have measured is hostile to a human body. Now imagine your descent continuing. You have passed through the clouds. You have reached the surface. Your equipment is struggling. The temperature is approaching 900 degrees Fahrenheit. The pressure is crushing everything around you. There is no breathable oxygen, and the atmosphere is dense enough to feel almost like a fluid. You look toward the horizon. There is no rescue, no shelter, no mountain high enough to escape the heat, no cave that could guarantee safety, no breathable atmosphere waiting somewhere beyond the next ridge. On most hostile worlds, there is at least some theoretical path to survival. Armor, distance, timing, a protected shelter. Venus removes that comfort. There is no scenario where unprotected exposure ends in survival. Not for a second on the surface, not in the clouds, not during descent. Every layer of this planet is hostile, from the acidic upper atmosphere, down through the crushing clouds, and finally to the furnace-like surface. It is as if billions of years of physics have accidentally created a world almost perfectly lethal to the human body. And even the most advanced landers we have built could only buy themselves minutes to hours. Titanium, heat shields, cooling systems, reinforced electronics. All of that engineering could delay the inevitable. But it could not stop it. Not because the engineers failed, because Venus simply does not allow fragile things to persist. Venus is often called Earth's twin. And from a distance, the comparison makes sense. It is almost the same size as Earth. It is made of rock. It formed from the same swirling disk of dust and material that created the other planets billions of years ago. And yet, somewhere along the way, Venus became something else entirely. A warning. A world written in sulfuric clouds, crushing pressure, and unimaginable heat. Maybe that's the most unsettling part. Venus isn't an alien world built to be hostile. It is what a world like ours can become when the conditions go wrong, and stay wrong for long enough. Standing there, in that imagined final moment, you wouldn't simply be experiencing an alien planet's fury. You would be witnessing what happens when a world's atmosphere turns against everything living within reach of it. The pressure would crush you. The heat would overwhelm you. The atmosphere would suffocate you. And the chemistry would attack whatever remained. All at once. There would be no dramatic escape, no final rescue, no place to hide. Just Venus. Brilliant. Golden. Beautiful from a distance. And utterly unsurvivable up close. The universe was never built for soft, fragile things like us. Venus doesn't need weapons. It doesn't need monsters. It doesn't need malice. It simply exists. It follows the laws of physics. And those laws are enough. Because Venus doesn't want to kill you. It doesn't hate you. It doesn't even know you are there. It has no intention, no anger, no purpose. It simply exists. And everything about its environment is hostile to your survival. That may be the real horror. Not that Venus wants to kill you, but that it doesn't have to want anything at all. You could stand beneath those golden clouds and look up at a world that from orbit appears almost peaceful. You could see the same beautiful planet that ancient civilizations once associated with love and beauty. But beneath those clouds is a furnace. Beneath that furnace is crushing pressure. And beneath all of it is a world that reminds us of something we often forget. A planet does not need to be alive to be dangerous. It does not need intelligence. It does not need hatred. Sometimes all it needs is time. And the right combination of physics. Venus is Earth's twin. But perhaps it is also Earth's warning. A glimpse of how quickly beauty can become something terrifying when the atmosphere turns against the world beneath it. And as the golden clouds close above you, the last thing you see is the same beautiful planet that looked so peaceful from space. Only now, you know what is hiding underneath.